So, greetings. Today is another day here in beautiful Location City. This video is for me, not for you. I have a thing I need to do in like an hour and a half maybe, but I really couldn't bring myself to find an activity that would suit me in that awkward amount of time. Like, I could smoke weed if I wanted to, but then I'd be high for the thing I have to go do, and I don't think that's ideal. So, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about the vibe economy, like I wanted to do. And really, it's not necessarily about, like, this is a innate thing about our world that should be recognized. It's more about, like, a thought experiment of, like, how the hell do we get away from this bullshit called a cash dollar holla dollar? I'm sick of money. It's too expensive to live. Not that I'm necessarily paying for my stuff. I'm super privileged, as in my mom. I live with my mom, and she's gonna help me get into this house for autistic people or whatever because of a government program that exists. Isn't that nice for me? So basically, if we didn't have to rely on money, well, okay, so here's the trade-off about this arrangement is that I don't have an income, so that means I can't really buy anything. It's true. So, the vibe economy. It's about, you look at something and it's like, oh, that's a vibe. The main thing I wanted to point out is that the vibe economy kind of already exists. And in the last video I mentioned, it's like, why don't we use the vibe economy? Oh, wait, we do. There's racism. And the fact that there is racism, there's like more, with a higher percentage of BIPOC people and incarcerated and such like that. Those kinds of statistics that you look at and I'm like, wow, that's racism, am I right? And it is. That's kind of where the vibe economy kind of already exists, in the sense that there's no real reason why more people of color are incarcerated. It's just the vibe that we're racist. So if we flip it on its head, and even like job interviews is like, well, you can have a resume and we can try to make this as objectively as possible. But the real truth is that it's all bullshit. Anyway, it's all bullshit. It's true. So what do we do about it? And that's the question we always get stuck on, because we always got to do something about it. But unfortunately, for everyone involved, my solution is usually like, well, if we let it decay enough, then we'll have fertile soil to rebuild something new on top of that. I don't really think that's not really an active solution, though. It's not like a perfect. It's not ideal. Having to wait, that's dumb. It's dumb, and it'll get more people more people will be in danger because we wait than if we theoretically took action about it. So what do we do? This idea of the vibe economy that I've been bouncing around in my brain is that the functional hierarchy with money, our current economic system with money is in this hierarchical category of like, well, you're a billionaire, you're the owner class, or you're not the owner class. And that's not a very interesting dynamic. That's a very unhealthy, not so great way to break down the world. It's like, there's two genders. You're an owner or you're a worker. Pick one, and the likelihood that you'll actually be the one that you want is not great. So, not that we should even have an owning class. Like, what the fuck? So, whatever. Great. Vibe economy. We're back here. What the fuck is the vibe economy? The vibe economy is basically a hierarchical order of vibes that determines this idea of leadership, I guess. It's not even leadership that I'm aiming for necessarily. It's more like, well, you see, this person's vibes are really good, so that must mean they have a lot of clout about it. Jesus Christ. I'm not answering that right away. So, the vibe economy. Not rank choice. But democracy, Jessica. Democracy will save us. I don't think I believe you, actually. I think democracy is actually just a bottleneck, to be honest. Like, we need to vote to get the thing that we want done. It's really just... It just doesn't make sense. Like, the vibes about democracy feel really good because it's like, well, then everyone gets an opinion. But sometimes I don't even know if we need everyone to give their opinion about it. Like, if something needed to be built that were relevant to a specific group of people, then only the people that are affected by it actually have an opinion on what needs to be done. And then to say, well, there needs to be a democracy so everyone can give their opinion. It might be that a majority of people might not actually understand why something needs to be built or executed or done. And so that's why this vibe economy in my brain, that isn't a fully fledged idea, but is kind of this little ping pong ball in my head that goes back and forth. It's like, well, this vibe economy would hopefully solve the issue of, well, we need a new waste treatment building in our whatever. It's like, why do we need that? Because the water's bad. Well, but then democracy would be like, well, we have to vote on if we build it at all and where it goes. And unfortunately, I don't think that's I think that's not a realistic solution when people are drinking bad water. Not to mention, it's billionaires anyway that gets to make all the decisions, no matter how much democracy we inject into it. That's the truth, I think. In my honest opinion. Honestly, I'm a subjective, flawed human being, and you can call my bullshit if it is. But honestly, I'm just trying to brainstorm a solution or an alternative, or give you your brain a fun little exercise thinking about, like, well, what if we didn't need money? And if we didn't need money, we'd rely on vibes. And the vibe economy says, like, sometimes people have good vibes, sometimes people don't have good vibes, and we tend to listen to the people that do have good vibes, and we tend to ignore the people that don't. And right now, the people in power don't have good vibes, and we're listening to them anyway. Like, that doesn't make sense. It's like, man, Donald Trump sure is a bitch. Donald Trump is the worst person in America. Great. Let's not listen to him then. Well, he's the president, you see. Oh my god, guys. Oh, the president. Oh, he's the president, guys. Guys, listen, we gotta do what Trump says just because he's the president. Well, yeah, because that's reality. That's where all the rules are. You see, we gotta respect the president because of the rules. And to that, I'd say, oh, the rules about the president. Man, you know, I really have this strange little suspicion in my cute little brain that is telling me that even if we had the most ideal president to fix the USA, that it actually wouldn't be enough. Even if, like, one, sure, we could get the best president ever, and then still get denied by, someone, a Republican majority, thing in the House or the Senate, whatever. Basically, there's a lot of loopholes to get bigotry done and actual not bigotry done. That doesn't read as vibes to me, baby. That's not very good. So Oh man, we hit the 10-minute mark already. I sure am good at this yapping thing. So yeah, food for thought. Think about the vibe economy. Think about where vibes are tangible, guys. I don't think we're really ready to admit that vibes are a tangible thing that we need to consider. But they are. And I'd really like to start leaning into it for a positive thing instead of a happenstance thing, because we're trying to be all super smart about it, I guess. Be vibe smart, not bureaucracy smart. Bureaucracy, am I right? Oh my god. Think about it. Well, you see, we have to be objective and rational, so that's why all this bureaucracy is in the way. And it's like, well, I'd rather just look at something and be super subjective based on my vibes about it. God, is that so wrong? Is that so wrong to be like, well, I just want to look at something and judge it on the vibes, not actually the evidence. I don't know. Jessica, you came into this being like, yes, the vibe economy is so good, but it has a drawback like anything else in the world. Like, sure, we have in my brain, this is purely subjective. Don't forget, you're watching a subjective video, purely meant for the intention of myself, not for you. Whatever. Thank you for coming, but this is for my sake, not yours. So if we took the guardrails off of this, off of like being objective or whatever, off of being like a logical little human that we are, then yeah, I'd say I don't think that serves us anymore. It feels like bureaucracy only arose because we had to be super sure, super objective, whatever that means. We had to use physical evidence, identification. You have to prove you're a real person. That I don't think it serves us anymore. Hence the vibe economy. Because the vibe economy is like, well, I can't really tell you what to do, but your vibes are kind of nice, so I think if we were on vibe economy, if we leaned more heavily on our vibe economy, or on our built-in, not necessarily acknowledged, but definitely can't escape it vibe economy, then we look at all this racism around and be like, this actually isn't cool. I think we should do something about this. And people are, don't get me wrong, people are doing it. And I don't want to like dismiss that people are actually trying to make the world change, but it definitely doesn't. It definitely feels. Oh my god! Hey, you know that? Have you heard of that story about the people in the rainforest or whatever going into the sludge, the sea of sludge of ocean tar, and they take a bucket and then take the bucket out with the tar in it, and then they put it somewhere else, and then that's their job. That's really fucked up. It's their fucking job to bucket out all the overflow oil from their home, and they get paid for it. Not a wage, just it's it might as well be slavery at that point. That's fucked, Oh, jeez. So that's what I think. Praise the vibe economy, and I don't think I need to say anything else. I hope this does something. Well, it was for my sake, not for yours, so maybe it doesn't really matter, but what did I even say? Well, the vibes are good, but money is not the vibe. And scene.